She had the fame, the money, the world at her feet. But one night, standing on the edge of a 20-story building, she realized something terrifying. If she disappeared, no one would notice the real her was gone, until one stranger looked up and refused to let her fall. This is not just a love story. This is the story of a girl who had everything, except herself. Welcome to Tales by Sam, where every story comes alive. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey. And don't forget to subscribe for more unforgettable stories. Everyone knew Lena Hart, but no one knew Elena. By the age of 19, Lena had already become a global sensation. Her songs played in taxis, clubs, shopping malls, even in places she had never been. Her voice was everywhere, but her own voice, that had been silenced a long time ago. It started small. Wear this. Say that. Smile more. At first, it felt like guidance, like the natural price of success. But slowly, those suggestions became rules, then commands, then control. Her mother, Veronica Hart, was always there, watching, correcting, pushing. "You're not just a girl anymore," she would say, adjusting Lena's posture before interviews. "You're a brand, and brands don't break." So Lena learned not to. Not in public, not on stage, not even alone. Her days became a routine she couldn't escape. Wake up before sunrise, voice training, dance rehearsals, interviews where she repeated the same scripted answers, photo shoots where she held poses until her body ached, late-night studio sessions where producers shaped her sound into something marketable. Every moment planned, every emotion filtered, every piece of her managed. And yet, the world called her lucky. Fans flooded her social media with messages. "Your life is perfect. I wish I could be you. You're living the dream." Lena read them all, and each one felt like a lie she couldn't correct. Because the truth, she couldn't remember the last time she made a decision for herself. Even her biggest hit song, the one that made her a household name, wasn't hers. She didn't write it. She didn't choose it. She didn't even like it. But she sang it anyway, night after night, with a smile that fooled millions. Then came the awards night, the biggest moment of her career. The red carpet stretched endlessly, lined with flashing cameras and shouting reporters. "Lena, over here. Give us a smile. Who are you wearing?" She stepped out of the car in a shimmering silver dress, her face flawless, her posture perfect, a living masterpiece, exactly what they wanted. Beside her, her mother whispered through a tight smile, "Remember, no mistakes tonight." Lena nodded. Of course, there was no room for mistakes. Not in her world. On stage, the lights were blinding. The crowd roared as her name echoed through the arena. And as the music started, Lena performed. Perfectly. Every note hit. Every move precise. Every expression rehearsed. The audience was mesmerized. They stood. They cheered. They screamed her name, like she was untouchable. But inside, she felt nothing. No joy. No pride. No connection. Just emptiness, echoing louder than the applause. Later that night, she held the award in her hands backstage, a symbol of success, a proof of everything she had achieved. "You did it," her mother said proudly. But Lena stared at the trophy like it belonged to someone else. "Did I?" she whispered. No one answered. Back at the hotel, the silence was unbearable. No cameras, no music, no voices telling her who to be. Just stillness. She removed her heels slowly, her feet aching. Then her jewelry, her makeup, her smile. Piece by piece, she erased Lena Hart, until all that remained was Elena. Tired, empty, invisible. She walked toward the balcony like she had done many times before. But tonight felt different, heavier, final. The city stretched endlessly before her, glowing with life. People laughed somewhere down there. Cars moved. Life continued. Without her. Tears streamed down her face as a painful thought settled in. If I stopped pretending, would anyone still care? She climbed onto the edge. Her heart pounded. Her hands trembled. Not because she was afraid of falling, but because, for the first time, she felt like she had nothing left to hold on to. Then, "Hey, stop!" The voice shattered the moment. Sharp, urgent, real. Lena froze. Her breath caught as she looked down. A young man stood below, staring up at her, not with excitement, but fear. Genuine fear. "Please," he called again, softer now. "Just come back inside. No cameras. No spotlight. No expectations. Just one stranger, asking her to stay." And in that fragile, breaking moment, for the first time in years, someone wasn't asking her to perform. They were asking her to live. Lena's grip tightened, her vision blurred with tears, and slowly, she stepped back. That night, the world almost lost a star. But more importantly, a girl almost lost herself. And the stranger who called out to her? He had no idea. He had just changed everything. The next morning, the world woke up to headlines. Lena Hart stuns at awards night. Flawless performance leaves fans speechless. Queen of pop reigns again. Pictures flooded the internet. Lena, in her silver dress, glowing under the lights, smiling like she owned the world. Perfect, untouchable, unbreakable. But inside her hotel room, Lena sat on the edge of her bed, staring at her phone, scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Every headline felt like it was about someone else, because none of them showed the girl who almost jumped. Her fingers trembled slightly as one thought kept returning. He saw me. Not the star, not the image. Her. For the first time in years, Lena didn't rush into her routine. No rehearsals, no interviews, no fake energy, just silence. And in that silence, she made a decision. She needed to find him. It wasn't easy. People like Lena didn't just walk around looking for strangers. Her life was guarded, scheduled, controlled. But something inside her refused to let it go. So she asked questions, ignored warnings, pushed past her team's curiosity, until finally, she found him. Marcus Reed, standing exactly where he had been that night. Calm, focused, unaware that he had become the most important person in her world. When their eyes met, there was no music, no dramatic moment, just quiet recognition. "You came back," Marcus said, a little surprised. Lena nodded, unsure how to explain something she barely understood herself. "You didn't treat me like everyone else," she said softly. Marcus shrugged. "I treated you like a person." That was it. Simple. But to Lena, it meant everything. From that moment on, something began to grow. Slowly, carefully, real. They started meeting in small, hidden moments. Short conversations turned into long walks. Awkward silences turned into easy laughter. With Marcus, Lena didn't have to think before she spoke. She didn't have to smile when she didn't feel like it. She didn't have to be perfect. One afternoon, they sat by the water, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of gold and orange. "No cameras," Lena whispered. "No pressure," Marcus added. "No pretending," she said. And for once, she meant it. But peace like that, it doesn't stay hidden for long. Her team noticed first. "You're late. You're distracted. You're changing." The words weren't questions. They were warnings. Her manager grew impatient. "You have a brand to protect," he snapped during a meeting. "This isn't a game." Lena leaned back, her voice calm but firm. "Maybe that's the problem," she said. "It's always been a game." That was the beginning of the conflict. Then came her mother, the real storm. "You're throwing everything away," Veronica said sharply, pacing the room. "For what?" she added. "Some random man who doesn't even belong in your world." Lena's chest tightened. He's the only person who's ever been honest with me, she replied. Her mother stopped, cold, unmoved. Honesty doesn't build empires, she said. Control does. That was the moment Lena finally saw it clearly. This was never about her happiness. It was about power. Meanwhile, Marcus was fighting his own battle. You're getting too involved, his friend warned him one evening. That world will swallow you. Marcus knew it. Lena's life was chaos wrapped in glamour. Every step she took was watched, judged, manipulated. And he had his own future to think about. One built on integrity, discipline, and purpose. But every time he tried to step back, he remembered that night. The look in her eyes, the silence that almost took her. He couldn't walk away. Not from her. Still, reality was closing in. The media caught on. Photos surfaced. Rumors spread. Pop star linked to mystery man. Who was Lena Hart's new love interest? The attention was immediate, aggressive, unforgiving. Lena's private escape was gone. Turned into headlines. Turned into gossip. Turned into pressure. And then, the ultimatum came. You choose, her manager said coldly. Your career, or this. Silence filled the room. Heavy, suffocating. For a moment, the old Lena would have obeyed. The version of her that followed orders. That feared losing everything. But that version of her almost died on that balcony. So this time, she chose differently. No, Lena said. One word. Simple. Final. The room went still. Her mother stared at her in disbelief. You don't mean that. But Lena did. I'm done being controlled, she said, her voice steady. I'm done living a life that doesn't belong to me. And just like that, everything changed. She walked away. From the contracts, from the pressure, from the image that had trapped her for so long. The fallout was immediate. Headlines exploded again, this time. Not praising her, but questioning her. Is Lena Hart finished? Career suicide or bold move? Fans divided over Star's decision. But Lena didn't respond. Not right away. Because for the first time, she wasn't performing for them. Months passed. Silence. No appearances. No music. No headlines. Until one night, she returned. No flashy announcement. No massive promotion. Just a stage. A microphone. And Lena. The crowd was smaller this time. Uncertain. Curious. She took a deep breath. Closed her eyes. And began to sing. This time, it was different. No perfect notes. No rehearsed movements. Just raw emotion. Every lyric carried pain. Every note carried truth. She wasn't singing to impress anyone. She was telling her story. And something incredible happened. The audience felt it. Not the performance, but the person behind it. Tears filled the room. Not because she was perfect, but because she was real. And in that moment, Lena Hart wasn't just a star anymore. She was human. As for Marcus, he stood quietly in the crowd. Not in the spotlight. Not on stage. Just watching. Because he knew something the world was only beginning to understand. He didn't save her. He didn't change her. She did that herself. He just reminded her, at the exact moment she needed it most, that her life was worth fighting for. And sometimes, that's all it takes to change a story forever. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more powerful stories.